Welcome to the deck profile with the man who just living legend Prism at the Calling in Lille. Congratulations, man. Introduce yourself, please, to the community. What's your name and where do you come from?
I am Joris Verhelst and I come from Belgium.
Nice. And what do you have there? Not
I
only
have
Prism.
A Prism, but also a cold foil Spectre Shield token that I got signed by James White.
Oh, nice.
Personally. I'm going to use that in my future Prism games.
Yeah, tell us, how do you feel and what was the experience in the finals like?
It was amazing, but of course very stressful. Yeah, I felt like I was losing, so that kind of put me, I guess, in an advantaged position because I hadn't given up on the game, and I was still trying to do my best, but I was probably less stressed than my opponent going into those last final rounds. Where he almost had me, but Prism does Prism things.
Yeah, the Prism things, man. Tell us about it, the tournament. You played in Pro Tour too?
No, I didn't play in a Pro Tour. Actually, I'm here only for the calling. Yes, on Friday I played side events. I treated myself to a whole day of just Kano.
Oh, okay. And did you enjoy the event in general? How was it for you to come here and visit all the different people?
Amazing. Yeah, some international people from the streams and such, but to come here in the flesh and blood and meet them, that's really amazing. I stayed here for a week because some friends of mine were testing for the Pro Tour, and I just added on as someone was going to the calling. So we spent a whole week here in Lille. It was really awesome, really fun. Did tons of drafts for them to test, and I was their Prism opponent because none of them brought Prism to the Pro Tour, but they wanted to test against Prism, so I was there to help them get their fill.
Oh, awesome.
Kind of amazed, of course, that I ended up winning myself.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. You already told me a little bit. It was a pretty stressful situation in the finals, and you kind of got a cool head. So, yeah, tell us a little bit more about it.
So I think I was 5 life to 21 or something. The stream will probably have it accurately. Really on the down with only 1 or 2 auras, but I had a Shimmers of Silver, which I could attack with every turn, so it gains a counter. And he never thought in those final turns to remove it simply because he was so close to lethal. He was probably too thrilled with excitement that he was going to win the calling that he constantly was attacking for lethal instead of removing the Shimmers, which was attacking for more and more every turn. And I kept on drawing good hands that allowed me to just block out every damage. He got me with a lightning press for lethal, but once he didn't realize I had a spectral left, so he said, "You take 3." I said, "No, I take 2. I have a spectral." And he was a little bit, "Oh, oops." And the second time he played it super confidently. "You take 3," and I'm "No, I have a defense reaction." So yeah, probably some nerves on his part, granted me the win today. But hey, that's part of the game, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I'm happy that we have some time to just share this experience that you had, and also take a look at your deck. Prism is gone now in CC, but
yep.
Yeah, nonetheless, let's take a look at your deck, how you build it, and what you brought to the table today.
Yeah, sure. So I will move these to the side.
Yeah.
My deck is classic auras. As I said, I was mainly in the house just to test for other people, and I didn't really work on the Prism deck too much. This is of a friend of mine, which I just changed slightly, but the game plan is very simple. Auras. So I'll start with the auras. Everyone knows them. I play all 27 of them. Spread them out. Your Parable, which really helps in the aggressive matches to reduce damage. Your Auto Wrath, which is your finisher, helps you push damage. Your Merciful, which gears up your soul, so in the end game you can keep a yellow pitch over to attack with all your auras. Your Genesis, which is an engine a little bit, and then your Arclight Sentinels, which are a very good card. Let's leave it at that. And then the blue ones, Pierce Reality, sometimes lets me attack with Erudition for more than 5, which is amazing. Passing Mirage, which makes that Erudition lose Phantasm. Haze Bending, which is like the key card as it keeps on generating Spectral Shields and ups the board presence. And then Shimmers of Silver, which won me this calling by generating counters. Really, really standard cards, but very good at what they do. So yeah, all 27 of them. I'll move them to the side. So then we have the yellow heralds. Of course, Prism needs to play like a certain amount of yellows to make the deck work. We have 3 Eruditions, your main boss monster, as you could say, even though the auras are like the real heroes of the deck. Of course, this card is always scary, lets you draw some cards, so people have to block it. Wartune, which is like the secret MVP because he costs 1 and is like there to smooth out every turn that you need. And then Protection because it's fine. It is a good attack and block, and a yellow pitch. So these are the yellow heralds. But then we also have the blue heralds. This deck plays like a little bit on a high blue side. The reason for that is I expected more Rune Blades than Fai's, and also I kind of gave up on the Fai matchup as it's really hard for Prism to make that Fai matchup work. You can, but like it requires you to go more aggro. And yeah, I didn't feel like doing that with my deck, so I went all in on the Rune Blades and kind of abandoned the fight. So I play a lot more blues. I play Triumph blue, Wartune blue, Ravages blue, Protection blue, and then the single Rebirth blue, which is like mainly to bring in the Rune Blade matchup as an additional blue 3 block. Yeah, just being able to like always have blues for your Arclight Sentinel in those matchups, as well as being able to pitch for arcane damage, is really an upside, I feel. Now, of course, you'll sometimes have no yellow hands, but Prism can always have that. All right, so those are the heralds. I'll move those to the side. For the mirror, as I said, I don't have any like super special tag. It's simply poppers. In an aura game plan, that's really what you want. You don't want to be attacking your opponent, except for maybe with a Wartune to get like some soul, which is really good in the mirror. But otherwise you want to be playing auras and popping their attacks when they come at you. So I have 3 Celestial Cataclysm, 3 Raging Onslaught, and 2 Fyendel's Fighting Spirits, for a total of 8 poppers. The last one like went out yesterday evening. No, 2 days ago, just before I had to hand it in for another card. But yeah, that's what I'm comfortable with. Of course, they're all yellow because otherwise they would clog up your hand in the mirror. Really nice. And then the other yellows are 3 Soul Shields and 3 That All You Got, which turned out to be really fine. Like mostly I thought this card was going to be played against the Fai matchup, but luckily for me I didn't face any Fais during this tournament, so that might have also helped. Only Rune Blades and dashes, but just being a defense reaction for 3 while being yellow was actually like quite decent in a lot of matchups where, you know, I could like stop on hits or stuff with this from Arsenal. And when you have Parable out, a lot of things attack for 2, and this can easily like draw a card, or at least threaten to draw a card, so that they have to remove the Parable and not any other aura. We'll move to the reds, and then I'll have some comment about this. So in the reds, I still play 2 Prismatic Shields for the mirror, in case my opponent, well, I expect them to go auras, but that wasn't the case in this tournament. They went on all Herald aggro into me, but I still brought into Prismatic Shields, expecting the aura mirror, and then that would be really good. 3 Miraging Metamorph, staple of the Prism deck, of course. 3 Sing Belows, and 2 Fate Foreseens. So I play more D-Reacts because that's what I really like. I like to just stick to the plan. The plan is play auras and defend everything that they throw at you, defend on hit triggers and such like that. Yeah. Arsenal D-Reacts, to make sure that even on turns where you draw too many auras and can't block really well from hand, you still got that backup. And in the end, I even ended up cutting like the Miraging Metamorphs in like most of my Runeblade games, because even though it's like a super strong attack, being able to like play that all you got and have a yellow in some hands just felt better to me, as it just kept to the game plan. As I don't really want to attack you, even though it's like a really good attack. My deck doesn't have any other like red war tunes or such, so I don't have anything to go with it. It's kind of like a standalone at that point, and it doesn't really serve its purpose. But yeah, definitely did through some other games this weekend. Yeah, that's it actually for like the main and sideboard. It's all together, so I don't really like have like a matchup table, but it's very simple. Like these come in the mirror, of course, and like the defense reactions come in against almost every aggro deck, just to like help block. And these are also for the mirror. All right, that's it for most of the cards. So I still have the equipment left.
Yes.
I'll move these to the side. So of course you have the weapon Luminaris. It's what makes Prism so strong, of course, being able to pitch yellow to give all your attacks ever go again. Just amazing.
Yeah. Just like I think the weapon is gone now too, right? Because
yes.
This weapon and Prism belongs together.
Originally LSS had planned for Prism's weapon to be Iris of Reality, but because Luminaris was so strong, they changed it to Luminaris so that they could print another Light Illusionist, because you might as well just print a new Light Illusionist hero with some other ability. If you leave Luminaris, the game pattern is going to be exactly the same and just going to be played the same way. So in order to ensure that they could design something new, the Luminaris is gone as well. Then for headpieces, I have the Arcanite Skullcap and the Crown of Reflection. This is for the mirror and wizard matchups, and this is for everything else. As I said again, blocking is like the key to this deck, so Arcanite Skullcap just feels a little bit better than Crown of Providence in this deck, because you almost never want to go aggro, and you don't ever run like many reds in your list, so bricking with this deck is like very hard, and you don't really need that safety. Then for arm pieces, we have the Ironhide Gauntlet and the No Rune Gloves. No Rune Gloves is against Runeblades and Wizards, and all the rest you just play the Ironhide Gauntlet. Prism doesn't really have a really good arm slot, so you can actually run a lot of different things here. I've seen people run like Iron Rod Gauntlets here, which is also fine, I think. But yeah, and quelling sleeves as well. Yeah, I think those are all just fine. I played this today. And then the last two are of course the Tunic and the Footsteps. Really key equipment pieces that you play in every matchup. This allows you to play an aura for 2 cards every 2 turns, and this allows you to regain action points and block very efficiently. It's the only reason this deck can really like block out aggressive attacks so well. Yeah. Okay, and that's gonna be it for all the cards.
Yeah. What do you think for the future on Illusionist? We have Dromai now. Of course, in Blitz we can still play Prism, but do you have any hopes for a new Illusionist hero, or will you switch to Prism now? To Dromai, sorry.
Actually, I don't know. I might switch to Dromai. I'm definitely going to test her out more than I did now. I didn't really give her a shot up until now. But I also have my sights on Wizard. I really like instant speed interaction is very fun, at least for you as a player. So yeah, those are gonna be my options. As for a new Illusionist hero, I'm no scryer. I don't know the future.
Yeah. How do you like the Living Legend system that LSS has brought to the game?
I think it's fine. It brings a good change from time to time, and people can really see it coming and like prepare for it when a hero is going to Living Legend. as well as the fact that they promise to reintroduce heroes of that talent and class after a certain time. We'll make sure that the card pool doesn't go unused, and the heroes that Living Legend will get their own format. So I feel like this is an interesting way to keep, the standard metagame as we currently live in balanced, or not balanced, changing from time to time. Not much more to add. I think we'll have to see in the future, but for now I think it's fine.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit more about the Belgium community, because I know some people from overseas are also interested in hearing about the European communities. How's the community in Belgium like?
Oh, really sweet. Like, I have about 20 local players in my store, but there's like a couple of hundreds players in Belgium altogether. Really nice community we have, and we're still growing. Like, people are picking up the game and getting interested. I can't see anything but nice things. We've got great events all together. Really happy that I got to be here with the Belgian / some French community members in this Pro Tour to Lille. But nothing more.
Yeah. And how is your connection to other countries? You mentioned already the French players. You know some French players. How's the connection to the other countries like Germany or Italy? Or UK?
Not really much, only the French community, simply because we as Belgians have like Dutch-speaking Flanders and then French-speaking Wallonia. So some of the guys in Wallonia are because they speak French, know people in France. So I've got to learn a couple of French people through that, and testing online. It was mostly with us Belgians and French people as far as this season was concerned. Of course, I also know some Dutch people because I speak Dutch myself. But for other countries, not really. I must say though that I have met many great international people here, and I've come to learn a lot of friends. Some Croatians, some someone from Chile, who also the guy who went top 8 with Dorinthia. Amazing people all together. Really happy that it feels like an international event. Where last night, I just went to hang out with some US people. I didn't know. I thought I was following the Croatians to go get food, but they were getting food for other people, and we ended up doing some draft. It was really wild. I loved it. It was an amazing experience. I would do it again.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for getting us this deeply into your experience here at the Pro Tour Lille, and you as the calling winner. Do you have any last words? Do you want to shout out anyone?
I want to shout out everyone who went with me on this trip. In particular, Alex, my buddy, who slept. I slept with on the couch the last night. I literally just came in late last night, and I just slept next to him on the couch. It was not that great, but we went through thick and thin. That was amazing. Everyone in my home city who supported me through online texts and messages, and the people that came here, of course, in person, because for us it's not that long of a drive to get here. Really, really appreciate your support.
Awesome. Joris, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again at the next tournament.
Yeah, you too.